Alright, got a 3v3 here. We lose this game actually, so a lot to learn from lost games than the winning games. I'm not gonna go through I try not to go through the entire replay because that way it won't take like 45 minutes to an hour to cover these things. So I'll try to skip the not so interesting parts, and I'm not gonna run through the whole replay per se. I'll just go up to the point where it's basically a lost game and not show the last 15 minutes of us just getting absolutely destroyed. I'm just trying to go over the entirety of the game and pick out the major points that went wrong so that we can learn from it. So I'm here on the right side playing USF. Nope's in the middle and Lemon's on the left. Port of Hamburg 3v3. So I'm just focusing on this fuel right here, and if I can hold on to this VP, that's extra basically. But the fuel is the objective that I'm playing here on the right side. Lemon is going straight for the fuel on the other side as well. So the early game here is just to go for fuel. All right. So I end up engaging a Wehrmacht player on this flank. I believe the OKW guy is in the middle, I believe. We'll find out soon. So the early game here, as I engaged the Wehrmacht fella, actually I'm quite happy with how it turned out, because I may not necessarily get the fuel and hold it for a very long time, but I managed to deny it to the Wehrmacht player. I'm not entirely sure which fuel point is closer to us. I think this one is closer, but as we start the game here, I realize that Lemon has no problem capturing this fuel on the left-hand side. So as long as I can try to decap and deny it, we're basically ahead on fuel. It takes some time for me to get some momentum going, but for the early to the mid game, I've got a pretty good handle on the Wehrmacht player on this side. It's only once we get to the late game, the mid to late game stage, I make a lot of mistakes. My anti-tank capabilities severely lacking, and I make a lot of mistakes with my AT guns. And I think I get one Jackson out, and I lose that pretty early as well once I get it out. So that's where things go wrong on this flank for the most part. So the problem with the Brits is that you don't have a lot of units to spare to cap the points off to the side, because you're giving an infantry section, and if you're not using that to fight, you know, at the beginning, you're wasting it. You know, there's a lot of wasted potential in that. And once the engagement starts going, you find it hard to get spare units to go off to the side to capture the point. So I don't blame Lemon for not capturing the points on the far left here. And besides, he's done his job. He's gotten the fuel and he's managed to get the VP on the left side. So we have a double team going on here, and this is where Nope is trying to contest, but it's a single MG here. Oh, he's gone for support weapons. I don't know what happened to his infantry. This is not good at all. Usually, the way that our games have been going, Lemon plays basically the all-rounded army. He's got a good mix of infantry, and then as the late game progresses, he gets his Cromwells, Churchills, Fireflies. He only needs one of each because they're very good tanks. And once they're supported with infantry, that's very good. For me, playing as a USF, I'm usually at the very end of the late game not going to have a lot of infantry. I usually lose my guys because I'm terrible at my micro, but I can handle the armor pretty well because there's not a lot of tanks to handle if you don't have that large an army. And the Calliopes take up a lot of pop cap as well. So that's what I usually go for, is that I'm at the late game going to just support the rest of the team. I usually do get a couple of ranger units to fill out the gaps here and there, so it's not like I'm completely abandoning the infantry game in KOTU. But that's the way it goes. So we're usually relying on Nope here to have a larger infantry army to handle. But he doesn't seem to go for that here.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
And he usually goes for tier 1. He went for tier 2 this game, so there's that. So despite the double team, Lemon still managed to hold on to the field. So we're in a good position, basically.
Achieved veterancy level. We can't hold much longer. Contact! Enemy machine gun!
Trying to hit them with the mortar first
Conscripts
before
can now
going
be
in.
equipped with anti-armor weapons.
Oh, that's pretty bad. Yeah, we're taking a lot of losses on this side. Aye, that hurts.
The weapon crew are, I'm afraid, quite dead.
I managed to repel the Wehrmacht player on this side here. Setting up mines. They're all preparing it. A lot of passive play here in the middle. That's all I can say for the most part. But he doesn't have any infantry, so he doesn't have any units to create any momentum or counterplay. And we're at 6 minutes 50, and this is a relatively small Soviet army. Nothing entirely wrong with it, but oh, he's being flanked now. So once you get the mismatch on one player and you repel him from the side, he basically full retreats. You leave your teammates out to hang for the most part. But remember, at the beginning, Lemon here gets double teamed in the first place, and Nope is playing very passive in the middle. So that's the essence of like the team game for the most part. I lose the right side here for a little bit. I'm pretty sure I reclaim it one more time, and then he gets his armor out. Goes downhill from there. So for the most part, there's like not much to blame on one side or the other. It's basically everything's uncoordinated. When one player is getting double teamed, the other player is unaware, and he just sits in the middle being passive. And then when the player gets knocked out, no one can help the guy in the middle because you're now on a 2-on-1. So the enemy is now pushing in on the left-hand side. Lemon has to deal with this now.
Would you rather be digging graves, Dimitri?
Go for tier 3. Nope, now decides to come over to my side, which I've got a pretty good handle on this guy here. Right? Granted, I have lost the fuel quite a few times, but I'm fairly confident in my ability to handle this if we just let the game go on a little bit longer. Of course, once the tank comes out, I mess up my AT, I make a mistake. But that's like a micro problem. Going forward from here on, I don't think that's going to be much of a problem. Don't need to worry about that. The Note comes in to help. So we basically repel this entire side, so we get 2-on-1 this match. Same time, however, there's like a slight difference in play between Nope and this Wehrmacht player here in the middle is that once the Wehrmacht player understands that there is no presence here, he immediately starts pushing a flank. So I'm thinking to myself, I've already secured this area. I can either go into the middle here to try flank, which doesn't look too good because Nope has no presence here. So it will be another one-on-one, very far away from my area of operations. And I've got a lot of units that are going in piecemeal. So instead I try to go for the capture points. Try to see if I can move in and then cut off their their points basically. But that doesn't go too well because I'm very close to the Wehrmacht base, so he can counterattack really fast. Send one guy in the end, have a look. But oh, and he actually has pushed all the way out to behind us actually. So what was a good 2-on-1 in our favor very quickly turned the other way. Trying my best to hold on here. Managed to actually hold on pretty well. I mean, 11 minutes to get a T-70 out. I don't know about that.
Supply sector under attack.
And all of the Axis players, they've all got at least one AT gun out. And they can very easily switch to Panzer Grenadiers or Shreks. So we managed to get into the middle here. So yeah, this is a good play. So we know that the OKW fella, he's still got, he only got his one Raketen, and he's been playing one-on-one with Lemon. So you get a 2-on-1 mismatch with this guy, he's not expecting it. But instead of going to the middle, because you're already capped it, you got decent cover in infantry. Utilize the T-70, move in with Lemon's infantry. It's only one Raketen worth. So more disconnect in play here for the most part. Lemon's infantry is stretched out a little bit. That hurts.
Support gun, ready for action.
So we're getting the field back. Nope, is at 1,000+ manpower. Wow, okay. Like I said, I always lose a lot of guys, and my infantry never usually survives into the late game, and I adapt to that. I'm constantly throughout the entire game not having any manpower, but our two friends over here are swimming in manpower. Man, damn. A lot of fuel stacked up as well. So Nope's at 70. The T-70, can't recall how much that cost in terms of fuel. 70 as well. Okay. I mean, you could have gone into... You could have skipped the T-70 and gone for a fast T-34. That would have been really helpful. But Nope is still only just running 2 conscripts, 2 main infantry. This is very unorthodox.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory. Mortar team reports ready for combat.
And 1,000 manpower. Lemon 2 is also... I think he's saving up for his tank, because they cost a lot of fuel. Which... I can really get the combo, actually. And still have enough to spare... Or is he trying to get the Churchill out? He doesn't have the VPs for that yet. I mean the CPs.
A capture point is being overrun.
Alright, so the middle Wehrmacht player gets tanks out. And I lose the flank. We don't have anything to counter this at this point in time. Even though Nope has gone support weapons, he's just lacking in support weapons. So we get a mismatch 2-on-1 on the right side here, and I lose it. Nope doesn't have enough units to make any counterplay. I've got the unit rosters here up, so you can compare Nope's army to the guy he's currently fighting up against. Nope's units have been a little bit more active, a lot more veterancy around, all around units. Oh, it's a loss. Switch over to the other side.
The enemy has destroyed an anti-tank gun.
So it's here that things start going a little bit wrong. So I still have like a pretty decent infantry advantage, and I make a lot of mistakes micro-wise. I managed to repel the tank in the beginning, but I lose this AT gun, and after I lose the AT gun, because I'm low on manpower, I managed to get one more out, and then managed to lose that as well. And I can't get any sufficient counterplay after that. A lot of mistakes that part. But I'm still have a decent handle on this guy here. Oh, this is bad. Oh my. So Nope decided to shift from the middle off to the left a little bit here. Doing so has left the entire... Because the Wehrmacht player is aggressive, right? We've seen this and at least twice up to this point in the replay. Once he senses that there's an opening, he just goes for it. So he's gone to the left, he's gone to the right. Anytime he gets opportunity, he immediately attacks. Lone T-70 gets 2 pack guns. So I have the decision here to make with what's left of my infantry here. Actually, I'm doing pretty good on infantry still. Either go into the mid here to try to support what's going on here, try to salvage the middle and the left. Because I managed to secure right, I've repelled him pretty well, but he's regrouping for his attack. So I've got an opportunity here. I think at one point I do end up going to the middle, but that didn't go too well. Oh yeah, I do end up sending 2, but just as I send my guys in the middle, I get counterattacked by him. So I now have to micro 2 sides and things don't go too well on either side. I actually managed to win that engagement. That's interesting. I don't recall that. So now I'm engaging this tank here, trying to maneuver up the AT gun. I think this is where things go wrong. I'm overextending way too far ahead. Oh. Yellow Wehrmacht player ends up giving some support as well. Yeah, this is where things go wrong. Slight double team here. My infantry is all gone. AT gun's gonna get knocked out here in a moment.
The capture point is being overrun.
He ran over with the one mine I planted in this game, but US AT mines, they are not that good. So yeah, there goes that. I don't manage to get this back, so big loss. I think he actually captures it himself. Nope, he's still at 1k manpower. He's finally got 3 cons out. It's a little bit too late. Oh no. We were doing well on fuel. Not the case anymore.
Is under attack.
Yeah, from here on, I'm not going to be able to get these points back. All I can do is just try check this guy and make sure he doesn't flank into the middle. Which so far, I've done a pretty okay job. He's stayed here and I've kept him here. I've pinned him. Oh my, it's a problem. I didn't know they had one of these out in the game. Look at the army. This is not looking good at all. Oh dear. Well, we got a T-34 out. So when you're going into the late game, T-34s, if you can spam T-34-85s, but of course that's a doctrinal unit. That's good and all. But we've managed to go this entire game without a ZIS divisional gun, so no actual proper AT. This is a captured mechanic warfare that we got here. We've gone 1 T-70, which is he managed to keep that alive. He's got some vet, and this will end up being helpful if we manage to get our armor out, but we don't manage to get that out. There goes Jackson. I walked into those 2 AT guns is what happened there. That's why it was decrewed, and then he came in and finished it off. 1-on-1, T-34 versus Panzer IV, no support on our side. Well, Nope's got the 18-8 unlocked, so he's got that going for him. From this point forward, we don't get any sufficient momentum to make a successful counterattack. It's pretty much game over at this point. They've got lots of armor. Nope goes for a B4. Yeah, we haven't had much problem with emplacements or anything like that. I don't agree with this one at all. So Lemon's army for the most part is intact. It's just his armor is lacking because he lost that one car melted at flank earlier. Oh, see more infantry.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Get caught out. 18 guns inside. At 800 manpower, still no core infantry presence. That's not good. Like I've said throughout the entire game, without enough infantry for the early game into mid game, you can't make any plays. You have nothing to use, basically. And this guy has no problem pushing his AT guns out with no support. One grenadier squad. Once he sees an opening, he just goes for it with everything he has. That's, I mean, not something I would do. But it works out for him really well because he manages to get us on the flank here. So I've taken a lot of losses. It's not going well for me on this side, but still managed to keep him in check here. Right? He's not interfering in the middle. So we've got massive effort to go up this flank up here to the left, with the middle still completely wide open. I'm in full retreat at this point. Managed to get the AT gun active just in time. Got the disable rounds activated. I tried to blind fire attack round through that, but I get the second long range one, but missed the point blank shot. Right, one Panzer IV down. And oh my. Just comes around the corner, no line of sight. Does not get the fire off, okay. So yeah, overextended on the left. The right was, well, the middle in this case was completely open, so you get flanked on the right. Oh my. Yeah, alright. No point in watching the rest of it. 26 minutes or so. So yeah, that's the end of that.